Epic Nest. Part 2. The Winter That Never Was. December 21st, 1895. Daniel pulled the blanket over himself. His eyes were heavy, but his mind was full of questions. These nights, it had become normal for him to wake up in a new place each time. He could no longer tell which reality was more real, the world he fell asleep in, or the world he woke up to. Let's see where they take me tonight. His eyes closed. It was cold, very cold. Daniel took a deep breath and opened his eyes. The first thing he felt was the snow sitting on his eyelids. He was in the middle of a heavy, merciless snowfall. The wind howled, and snowflakes stung his face like sharp needles. His breath turned to steam, and the cold penetrated deep into his bones. He slowly got up. Looking around, he realized he was in the middle of a town square, but not a town he recognized. Gas lamps with their weak yellow light illuminated the streets. Tall brick buildings with slanted roofs, horse-drawn carriages stopped at the corner, and shop signs with strange fonts. He turned around. Behind him stood an old train station. A wooden sign on its wall glowed. Central Station, London, 1895. Daniel unconsciously held his breath. Ayret Yanutre, ton nutre einde? His heart raced. He reached into his pocket and felt something, his diary. He pulled it out and opened the first page. The black ink showed the date. December 21st, 1895. Daniel took a step back. This couldn't be. He lived in 2025. So why was he here? The sound of a church bell rang in the distance. People passed by him, wrapped in thick cloaks and tall hats, but no one even looked at him. It was as if he were invisible to them. But someone was looking at him. Across the square, a teenage boy stood. He wore ragged clothes, his hair disheveled, and his cheeks red from the cold. But there was something in his gaze that froze Daniel in place. The boy stared directly at him. Then he gave a faint smile and slowly nodded. Daniel frowned. Why did this boy know him? The boy raised his hand and pointed to the large clock tower. 11:59 p.m. The minute hand moved to the 12. It was midnight. Suddenly, the entire city became silent. The wind stopped. The gas lamps went out. The people froze, not stopped, but frozen, like statues. Daniel held his breath. It was as if the whole world was stuck in that exact moment. Then, the boy moved. He was the only one still in motion. He slowly approached Daniel. "You shouldn't be here." Daniel's tongue felt tied. "What? I don't know why I'm here." The boy nodded slowly. "They're coming." A strange feeling ran down Daniel's spine. "They? Who?" The boy simply raised his hand and pointed behind Daniel. Daniel quickly turned around, and blood froze in his veins. At the end of the street, shadows had appeared. Tall, faceless figures in black cloaks that billowed in the unseen night wind. They moved quietly, as if gliding across the ground. Daniel's heart raced. "What are they?" the boy whispered. "If they catch you, you'll never wake up." Daniel spun around. The boy was no longer there. The shadows were getting closer. Daniel took a step back. His mind raced. He had to find a way. But how? The shadows were just steps away. Then, one of them raised its hand. Daniel felt the ground beneath his feet disappear. Everything fell into darkness. To be continued.